Alright, so finally, after all the work we've done, we've completed this. Before I forget as well, we need to close up the gap in the front. Because if I take this and I isolate selection, we can see that there's a big gap right here. If I choose the border selection tool, you see that there's also another problem. The problem is, these vertices here down the middle are not welded right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix that. Let me go to wireframe mode here. I'm going to go to vertex mode. I'm going to select all of these vertices that run down the middle. Just going to go to my quad menu, go to the weld tool options. I'm going to use the default setting of 0.1. I'm going to hit OK. That should seal that up for me, which will allow me to select this border right here of polygons, or of edges I should say. And then I could go ahead and cap that in the front right there. And if I get out of isolate selection mode, shouldn't have a hole in the middle right there, which works out pretty good. So that's done. Okay. Obviously, there's a lot more detailing you can keep doing. You can keep modeling this and chipping away at it to your heart's content. This is where we stop, though, however, because obviously we have a limited amount of time for the tutorial. And I've covered pretty much all the things that I wanted to cover. So, just to review, we've covered a lot of different things. We've covered the basic approach to modeling, which is not to model everything from one piece of clay, so to speak. What you want to do is break everything down. So you saw how here we created everything in different pieces. For example, we created this front panel on its own. We focused on that. We cleared our mind from everything else. We finished it, and only until we finished it did we move on to other things. So we made different parts. We saw how to create parts that look like they're separate, but made them from the same piece of geometry. For example, the USB ports, the headphone jacks. We also saw how to duplicate and clone these pieces of geometry within geometry to go ahead and save time. So we can, model one USB port, but then we can clone that piece of geometry and make 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 USB ports if you wanted to. We saw also how to use the modeling ribbon up here, which has a lot of useful tools. We created complex geometry, like these little holes right here on the side panel of the aluminum case here. We saw how we can make those holes pretty quick and pretty easy using something as simple as the inset tool in 3ds Max. We also saw how to recycle geometry, so we moved geometry from one side to the other, and then we very seamlessly made them kind of merge in together and look like it's just one single object, which it is. We saw how to change up our techniques. We saw how to create different things like this fan vent back here, which looked complicated at first, but we tackled it. We got done using some good techniques that I showed you to get that done quick and easy and very, very pain-free. We saw how to add a bunch of details, how to use the quick slice tool, which is very, very useful. Seems so simple that you can use one tool to do so much, but that's just the way 3D modeling is. So the quick slice tool allowed us to do all these cuts in the rear metal fold, this area here. It allowed us to get away with a lot of different things fast and easy. We saw how to create different little panels, like back here in the center rear and in the lower part, and how we can just take these little loops of polygons around it by using the inset tool, make those little loops, then select them, extrude them, and push them into the model to create these kind of separation gaps that make it look like these panels are actually separate or part of something else when it's actually not. It's all really about optical illusion. We saw how to create all these details, these little rivets, and then just cloning them and placing them all over the object here to make it look a little bit more believable and realistic. We also saw how to use the Boolean tool, or the Boolean object here, the compound object here in 3ds Max, to create a very complex object that otherwise would have been a real pain to get done if we needed to create these little holes here for this honeycomb pattern. If we had created that one at a time by hand, we wouldn't be finished with this. This tutorial would take 20 more hours to do, if not more. It would be pretty insane. So we've seen a lot of techniques. I encourage you to go ahead and use the techniques you've learned in this video and review them over and over again as many times as you feel you need to. Watch the videos again until you get these techniques down. And these techniques will help you out whenever you need to model anything, not just a computer case, but anything that requires this type of mechanical type modeling, hard surface polygon modeling. Now you've got the techniques and the know-how to go ahead and model things similar to this. So any type of mechanical objects, if you work in design visualization or architecture, these techniques are going to help you a lot for creating interior spaces, buildings, all kinds of different objects, environment props. These techniques are really going to help you out. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. And I hope that you learned plenty and you found this as a valuable resource of knowledge and information and skills to go ahead and improve your modeling skills and just give you a wider array of tools and knowledge to complete your modeling jobs on your own. So from everyone here at i3 Tutorials, thanks a lot for supporting i3 Tutorials and for watching this tutorial. We're going to be releasing more training in the near future for more Autodesk 2011 products, including 3ds Max, but also some Maya and Softimage training. So be on the lookout for those. If you have any questions, comments, or anything, just drop by our forums and ask a question. We've got a lot of helpful community members that can help you out, or just great people to talk to. Or if you have a question for us, go ahead and post it up, and when we get a chance, we'll go ahead and try to answer it for you as best as we can. So from everyone here at i3, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you again soon.